but we say it together as a family on the Holy Shabbat day, praying that Yah would even accept our unity as a family. Baruch Yehoah Baboqueh, Baruch Yehoah Bezoharayim, Baruch Yehoah Be'erev, Baruch Yehoah Be'layla, Baruch Yehoah Yom Yom, Baruch Yehoah Tamid, Yehoah Eloheinu B'vakosha, L'sloach lanu lekol devarim, ra'im she'asinu lefaneka yom yom, v'lihiyot imanu kol hayom hazeh, lema'an Shem kara Yehoah, Elohei Abraham, Yitzchak v'Yisrael, Elohei Avotenu ve'Eli, Lishmo'a b'kolna, im tereseotka, lema'an Shem kara Yehoah. Blessed be Yah in the morning, blessed be Yah in the afternoon, blessed be Yah in the evening, and blessed be Yah at night. Blessed be Yah every day, and blessed be Yah always. Yehovah our power, please forgive us for all the evil things we have done before you this day, for thy name's sake. Yehovah, the power of Abraham, the power of Isaac, and the power of Israel, the power of my fathers and my power. Hearken to my voice, I pray thee, if it pleases thee for thy name's sake. And let us all say, Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Yochai. Yochai. Selah. Again, a joyous Shabbat Shalom Lakim, giving praise unto this mighty King, Yehoah, Todah Yah, for bringing us out of idolatry and superstition, that we no longer believe that a man in a red and white suit will come down our chimney when we didn't come up with chimneys. I don't even have a chimney in my house. And so I praise Yah that our children are being educated in truth, that they know the truth and they understand the truth and they appreciate the things that Yah gave us as a people. And so I thank Yah for this time, for this season. I thank Yah for the weather that he's given us today, that it's not super cold. Spoke to my Abba, and it's snowing, feet of snow in Canada. So praise Yah, that's where he lives. I live here, I'm happy about that. But so praise Yah for this season and for this time, and may we continue to elevate in our thoughts that Yah would even help us and bless us in this time, in this season. Let us sing Ze'ed HaShabbat. Ze'ed HaShabbat, Shamea Kandi. Ze'ed HaShabbat, Shamea Kandi. Ze'ed HaShabbat, Shamea Kandi. Ani Ohi Vayom Tashem. Ze'ed HaYomato, Shamea Kandi. Ze'ed HaYomato, Shamea Kandi. Ze'ed HaYomato, Shamea Kandi. Ani Ohi Vayom Tashem. Yashem Shalom, Odavim, Yashem Mokana, Odavim, Hallelujah, Hallelujah, Hallelujah. Mashishem Bada, Samea Kandi, Mashishem Bada, Samea Kandi, Mashishem Bada, Samea Kandi, Ani Ohi Vayom Tashem. Ohi Vayom Tashem. Ze'ed HaShabbat,
Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Great, mighty King of the universe, the power of our ancient forefathers, Yab Abraham, Yitzchak, Yisrael. We thank thee, O great King, for our lives on this holy Shabbat day, where we can come together and gather in praise and worship before your high and holy name. We thank thee for our elders. We thank thee for our men and our women and our children, O Yah. We thank thee for our family, the Hebrew family of Charlotte. We ask and pray, O, that you will be with all Yisrael in the four corners of this earth, who have even remembered this day as the holy day of rest, and honored and represented your name, O great King. We ask and pray, O, that you will uplift our minds, uplift our spirits, allow us to intake the words that come before thee on this day. Allow us to help us to intake the praises that we give unto thee, O Yah. Please help us to continuously be strong. Help us be strong, O Yah, for we need thee. And we ask and pray, Yehovah, that you will even forgive us for the sins that we have even committed, even throughout our days and our weeks. Asking and praying, Yehovah, that you will continue to have mercy and compassion upon us. Be with all those who are even striving to get closer to thy Lord. We ask and pray, Yehovah, that on this day you will be with the sick, the lame, the deaf, the dumb, the blind, those who are incarcerated, those who are in the hospital, those who are unclean and not able to come out, O great King. We ask to pray be with those that are on their way, O Yah, to a place such as this, to even give praise to your name, O Yah. For there is not enough words to describe thy greatness. But we know that you are awesome, that you are mighty, that your name is to be revered in all this earth, O Yah. And we ask and pray, O, that you again uplift our spirits on this day. For we know that we are not perfect and we make many mistakes before thee, O Yah. But you are understanding power. You are a merciful power. And we ask and pray, Jehovah, that you will continuously have compassion on us, for we need thee, O Yah. For these days and times are getting worse, and we need to draw closer unto thee, O Yah. And we ask and pray that one day that you will even return us back to our promised land, which you have even left for our ancient forefathers, O Yah. We ask and pray, Jehovah, that you will be with those who are even in the land of Guyana at this time. Asking and praying that you allow them to have a safe return, to even return back unto us once again, O Yah. We ask and pray, Jehovah, for so many things, both small and great. We thank thee and we understand that you are the true and living power, and there is none else besides thee in the heavens above or the earth beneath, O Yah. We thank thee for our mothers. We thank you for our fathers, our sisters, our brothers, our aunts, uncles, cousins, nieces, and nephews. We even thank you for our friends, O Yah. We thank thee for all things and everything, and we ask and pray, Yehovah, that you will be with us on this holy Shabbat day. Let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable before thee, O Yah, my rock and my redeemer. Hallelujah! 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 Yochai! 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 Selah.
O Shema Yisrael, Yahovah Eloheinu, Yahovah Eloheinu, Yahovah Eloheinu. O Shema Yisrael, Yahovah Eloheinu, Eloheinu Yahovah.
Echad, O Baruch Shem Kebo, Malchut Tole Olam, Tole Olam, Malchut Tole Olam, O Baruch Shem Kebo, Malchut Tole Olam, Leolam Waye, O Shema Yisrael, Yahovah Eloheinu, 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 O Shema Yisrael, Eloheinu, Eloheinu, Yahovah Echad, O Baruch Shem Kebo, Malchut Tole Olam, Tole Olam, Tole Olam, O Baruch Shem Kebo, Malchut Tole Olam, Leolam Waye. hallelujah, hallelujah. Say what? Say what? I woke up this morning with my mind on Jehovah. I woke up this morning with my mind on Jehovah. I woke up this morning with my mind on Jehovah. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Everybody, let's praise Jehovah. Everybody, let's praise Jehovah. Everybody, let's praise Jehovah. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. If you love ya, say hallelujah. If you love ya, say hallelujah. If you love ya, say hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Oh, I woke up this morning with my mind on Jehovah. I woke up this morning with my mind on Jehovah. I woke up this morning with my mind on Jehovah. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Everybody, let's praise Jehovah. Everybody, let's praise Jehovah. Everybody, let's praise Jehovah. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. If you love ya, say hallelujah. If you love ya, say hallelujah. If you love ya, say hallelujah. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Hallelujah. That's how you praise y'all. Please be seated. Oh man, I just want to give y'all the thanks and the praise because I'm alive, you're alive. And there's nothing greater than to say, Todah Yehovah. I'm watching these young boys over here give praises when they could really be talking that foolishness that they talk out there. But these boys are in here praising Yah. These teenagers about to be men. They're taller than some of us. They're about to be on another level with praising Yah. And so we should be happy that our sons are going to take on this mantle and continue to do what it's supposed to do. Hey, my father and my mother brought me in. I was 2 years old, and my sons are now keeping this way. Your sons are keeping this way. That's a great blessing in this season. And so, Todah Yah, I want to thank Yah for the elders. We just had an elder in Israel make 100 years of age. And so, praises to the Most High for blessing her. Her name is Cohane. And so, may Yah bless our elders who are here to reach that age, to even reach beyond what Doda and Grandma made, but that they would live here and then they could still tell you secretly, you better serve God. That's what you need. Somebody that's going to keep you on the right path. And so thanking Yah for the elders, the young men, the older men, because we're not old men. We're older men. And so Todah Yah for the bakes and the pains. You know you're still alive when you got them. So all praises to this great King. Let us praise Yah by saying our Shabbat prayers. Hallelujah. Blessed art thou, O Yehovah, our power. And blessed be the works of thy hands. And the heavens and the earth were finished. And all the host of them. And on the seventh day Yah finished his work, which he had made. And he rested on the seventh day and holiday.
Because that it is rested from all his works, which Yah the created had made. O thou who art most holy, look upon thy people in mercy. Hear thou us, O power of Abraham. Nurture us, O power of Israel.
Save us, we implore thee, O power of Israel. Blot us not out, O Yah, though our sins be many. But cast our evil doings into the bottomless pit, to remain forevermore. Our hope is in thee, O Yah, and without thy mercy we have none. Father of wisdom, thou dispenser of knowledge. Cause our hearts to discern and our minds to retain thy Lord. Bless Israel to know thee as we did in the days of yore. And let the sign of the Shabbat shine brightly from this thy house and from us thy people Yisrael. And our voices mingle with the host of heaven as we joyfully proclaim, blessed be the name of our power and blessed be his holy day. Hallelujah. This is the day which Jehovah has made, and we will be glad and rejoice therein. Unto thee do I lift up mine eyes, O thou that art enthroned in the heavens. Ascribe unto Jehovah the glory due unto his name.
Worship Jehovah in the beauty of holiness.
In thee, O Yah, do I take refuge. Let me never be ashamed. And thou hast given us joy in the place of sorrow, and thy truth is like a heady wine. Shout for joy, O ye children of Israel. Proclaim the name of our King, to whom the sun does shine and the wind sing. Jehovah is our sun and shield, who then could master us. To thee, part of our fathers, do we give honor and glory. For who is Yah beside thee? Be thou our judge, O Yah, against the ungodly nations. Save us, O our King, we beseech thee. Then shall we come clapping, singing, jumping, shouting, praising, crying, and showing our holy name. For with thee is the fountain of life, and in thy life do we see light. Thy loving kindness, Yah, is in the heavens, and thy faithfulness reaches unto the skies. Depart from evil and do good, and dwell forevermore in peace. For Jehovah loveth justice and forsaketh not his holy ones. Hallelujah. Shema. Shema. Yisrael. Where is the power of Abraham, who didst call our father from Chaldea? Art thou not he, O power of Israel? Where is the power of Yitzchak, who did bless him with the righteous report? Thou art one and the same, who knoweth him who changed Yaakov's name. Thou, O Yah, will forever remain. Though Joseph sojourned in Egypt, yet did all men show him favor. Thy hand, O Yah, was with him, and thou didst help Moshe and Israel against Pharaoh, who stood up the mighty Red Sea. Manna dropped from heaven to sustain thy people in the wilderness. They fashioned the calf to bow down to.
Yet to Israel didst thou show mercy.
And we give thanks unto thee, O Yah, and we will tell of thy wondrous works. In Yehuda is Yah known, his name is great in Israel. His foundations in the holy mountains, and we will sing of the mercies of Jehovah forever. Unto all generations we will make them to be known. Stay thou, O Yah, in the midst of us. Cause righteousness once more to be sown. So shall the heavens praise thy wonders, Yah, thy faithfulness in the holy assembly. Let Israel awake in the day with their praises. Glory to Yah now and forevermore. Hallelujah. Our last stanza, we will recite together while we face the eastern direction. O Yah, thou art my power, and earnestly will I seek thee. Hear my voice, merciful Father. Preserve me from mine enemies. Send out thine angels to protect me. O thou that hearest prayer, and with thy mighty hand, Yah, subdue all those that hate us. Remember us in mercy, Yah, and pardon all of our transgressions. Accept our power doth bless us. How could we hope to prosper unless our Creator protect us?
We are as if we had not been. Stay thy hand, O death, for he doth forgive our iniquities.
So will I sing praises to his name, that I may perform my vows.
The dead praise not Jehovah, nay, nor any that go down into silence.
Let us extol our power while we have life. Sing praises to our power while we have any need. Together we will lift up our voices and gratefully sing.
Withhold not thy voice from extolling our Maker.
Let young and old praise him together. Let the tribes come near and testify. Even the tribes of Israel, the mighty of Jehovah. Say among the nations, Yah reigneth. Thy power, Israel, over all the world. For Jehovah will not cast off his people, neither will he forsake his inheritance. Thy testimonies are very sure. Holiness becometh thy house, now, O God, and forevermore. Hallelujah. Jehovah, thou hast been our dwelling place in all generations. Before the mountains were brought forth, or ever thou hast formed the earth and the world, even from everlasting to everlasting, thou art Elohim. Thou turnest man to contrition and sayest, return, ye children of men. For 1,000 years in thy sight are but as yesterday when it is past, and as a watch in the night. Thou carriest them away as with a flood, they are as asleep. In the morning they are like grass which groweth up, and in the morning it flourisheth and groweth up, and in the evening it is cut down and withereth. For we are consumed in thine anger, and by thy wrath are we hurried away. Thou hast set our iniquities before thee, and our secret sins in the light of thy countenance. For all of our days are passed away in thy wrath. We bring our years to an end as a tale that is told. The days of our years are 80 years and 10, or even by reason of strength 80 years. Yet is their pride but travail and vanity, for it is speedily gone and we fly away. Who knoweth the power of thine anger, and thy wrath according to the fear that is due unto thee? So teach us to number our days, that we may get us a heart of wisdom. Return, O Yah, how long? And let it repent thee concerning thy servants. Oh, satisfy us in the morning with thy mercy, that we may rejoice and be glad all of our days. Make us glad according to the days wherein thou hast afflicted us, according to the years wherein we have seen evil. Let thy work appear unto thy servants, and thy glory upon their children. And let the graciousness of Jehovah our power be upon us. Establish thou also upon us the works of our hands. Yea, the works of our hands establish thou it. It is a good thing to give thanks unto Jehovah, and to sing praises unto thy name, O Most High, to declare thy loving kindness in the morning and thy faithfulness in the night season, with the instruments 10 strings, and with the psaltery and with the harp, with the solemn sound upon the harp. For thou, Jehovah, hast made me glad through thy works. I will exalt in the works of thy hands. How great are thy works, O Yah, and thy thoughts are very deep. A brutish man knoweth not, neither doth a fool understand this. When the wicked spring up as the grass, and when all the workers of iniquity do flourish, it is that they may be destroyed forever. But thou, O Yah, art on high forevermore. For lo, thine enemies, O Yah, for lo, thine enemies shall perish. All the workers of iniquity shall be scattered. But my horn hast thou exalted like the horn of the wild ox, and I am anointed with rich oil. Mine eye also hath gazed on them that lie in wait for me, and mine ears have heard the desire of the evildoers that rise up against me. But the righteous shall flourish like the palm tree. He shall grow like a cedar in Lebanon. Planted in the house of Jehovah, they shall flourish in the courts of our power. They shall still bring forth fruit in old age, and they shall be full of sap and richness, to declare that Jehovah is upright, my rock, in whom there is no unrighteousness. Let my cry come near before thee. Teach me of thy word. Make my supplication find thee. Teach me of thy word. Let my lips utter thy praise. For thy Lord is here before me. Keep thy hand ready to help me. I've chosen thy word. I have longed for thy salvation. My delight is in thy word. Let my soul live, and it shall praise thee. Let thine ordinances save me. I've gone astray. Oh, yeah, please find me and teach me of thy word. Hallelujah. Well, y'all sound like angels. All praises to the Creator. Let us sing HaTorah at this time. HaTorah, HaTorah, Petach HaTorah, where I shall be, return unto thee, for thy word to be fulfilled by thy Lord. In our hearts, oh, how can we draw closer to each other in the spirit of true righteousness. By thy is the only way we find. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
We humble ourselves this time, brothers and sisters, again searching to make sure our telephones are on mute so that we don't have any distractions during the reading of the Torah. Turn to page 7 where we'll find the blessing for the reading of the Torah at this time. Baruch Hashem Shel Yehovah, Baruch Yehovah Yom Yom, Baruch Yehovah Tamid, Ubaruch Haba Likra Et HaTorah, Modeh Ani Lefaneka Ya Yehovah, Natan Lanu Et HaTorah. Our sisters may be seated. We ask our brothers to please remain standing in honor of the reading of the Torah. So that everyone is clear what we said in the Hebrew language. On page 7 in our prayer booklet, you'll find the words next to Rita says, Ani Po, Baruch Hashem Shel Yehovah, which means, I am here and blessed be the name of Yahuwah. The prayer was said, Modeh Ani Lefaneka Yehovah, Natan Lanu Et HaTorah. The congregation responded by saying, Baruch Yehovah Yom Yom, Baruch Yehovah Tamid, Uvaruch Haba Likra Et HaTorah, which means, blessed be Yah every day, and blessed be Yah always, and blessed be he or she who will read the Lord. The prayer was said by me, which said, Modeh Ani Lefaneka Yehovah, Natan Lanu Et HaTorah. I give thanks unto Yehovah who has given us the law. At the completion of the reading of the Torah, after each man or woman that is called and reading the Hebrew and English, the congregation will say, Modim Anaknu Lak, She'ata Hu Eloheinu, Wa Elohei Avotenu, Abraham Yitzchak, Wa Yaakov Le'olam Va'ed, which means, we give thanks that you are our power and the power of our fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, forever and ever. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. We are going to be reading from the book of Bereshit, which is called Genesis by the Greeks, beginning at the 43rd chapter and the 30th verse until the 44th chapter and the 17th verse. Again, that is Genesis 43:30 until 44:17. And it reads on this wise, hallelujah. Hallelujah. Why am I here, Yosef? Ki nikmuru rachamau et el et achiu. Why vakwesh livko vayavo hakad ra vayevek shama. Vayirket panau vayetse vayitapak vayomer simu lechem vayasimu lo levado velahem levadam velemitzrim haoklin ito levado kilo yuglun hamitzrim leeko et haivrim lechem ki toeva hiu lemitzraim vayishvu lefanau hakor kiv korato zair kiz irato vayitmehu ha'anashim ish el re'ehu. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
And Joseph made haste, for his heart yearned toward his brother, and he sought where to weep. And he entered into his chamber and wept there. And he washed his face and came out. And he refrained himself and said, Set on bread. And they set on for him by himself, and for them by themselves, and for the Egyptians that did eat with him by themselves. because the Egyptians might not eat bread with the Hebrews, for that is an abomination unto the Egyptians. And they sat before him, the firstborn according to his birthright, and the youngest according to his youth. And the men marveled one with another.
Amen. Modim anachnu la, she'ata hu Eloheinu, Elohei avotenu, Abraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov, le'olam va'ed. Nikra'et ak Yirmiyahu ben Naftali ben Yisrael.
Anipo Baruch Hashem Shel Yehovah.
Baruch Yahovah Yom Yom, Baruch Yahovah Tamid, Ubaruch Haba Likra'e HaTorah.
Moda ani lefanecha, Yehovah Eloheinu asher noten lanu et haTorah.
Amen.
Vayisa masot me'et panav Eleihem vatirev masat bin yamin mimasot kulam chamesh yadot v'yiskaru imo v'zal et asher al beito lemor malay et am chot ha'anashim ochel ha'ashir yuklun se'et vasim kesef ish v'pi am takto ve'et gavi'a ha'chesef tasim v'pi am takat ha'kwaton ve'et kesef shivro Vaya'as Kid Bar Yosef Asher Divrei.
Amen.
And portions were taken unto them from before him. But Benjamin's portion was 5 times so much as any of theirs. And they drank and were merry with him. And he commanded the steward of his house, saying, fill the men's sacks with food, as much as they can carry, and put every man's money in his sack's mouth, and put my goblet, the silver goblet, in the sack's mouth of the youngest, and his corn money. And he did according to the word that Joseph had spoken.
Amen. Modim anachnu la, she'ata hu Eloheinu, Elohei avotenu, Abraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov, le'olam va'ed. Nikra'et Habakor, Zabdiel ben Yosef ben Yisrael.
Anipo Baruch Hashem Shel Yehovah.
Baruch Yahovah Yom Yom, Baruch Yahovah Tamid, Ubaruch Haba Likra'e HaTorah. Amen.
Aboquer or Wa'anashim, Waha'anashim, Shuhu, Hema, Wahamorehem, Wahamorehem, Hem Yatsu et Ha'ir Lo, Here Kiku, Yosef, Amar, La'asher, Al, Beto, Kum, Redov, Akare, Ha'anashim, Wehisag Tam, Wa'amarta, Alehem, Lama, Shilam Tem, Rata, Ra'a, Tatat, Takat, Tova, Halo, Ze, Asher, Yishte, Adoni, Bo, Wehu, Nakesh, Yenakesh, Bo, Hare Otam, Asher, Hare Otem, Asher, Hasitem.
Amen. Hallelujah.
As soon as the morning was light, the men were sent away, they and their asses. And when they were gone out of the city and were not yet far off, Joseph said unto his steward, follow after the men. And when thou dost overtake them, say unto them, wherefore have ye rewarded evil for good?
Right.
Is this not see God, is not this it in which my Lord drinketh, and whereby he indeed divineth? Ye have done evil in so doing. And he overtook them, and he spoke unto them these words.
Amen. Modim anat nolat she'ata hu Eloheinu hu Elohei avotenu Abraham Yitzchak veYaakov le'olam va'ed Nikra et Bakor Matia ben Akavi Shaddai ben Lewi ben Yisrael.
How you go, Baruch Hashem, show your own.
Baruch Yahovah Yom Yom Baruch Yahovah Tami Ubaruch Haba Likra et HaTorah.
More than honey left in that car, your lane do not tell I knew it had Torah.
Amen.
While y'all see game, why that bear, Alehem, et hadvarim ha'ele, wayomru elav, lama yadaber, Adoni kadvarim ha'ele, halila, la abdeka, me'asut, kadavar hazeh, hein kesed asher matzanu befi am to kol teinu kes bonu elecha me'eretz Canaan we'ek Nigo, Nignov, Mibet, Adoneka, Kesed, O, Zahar.
Amen.
And he overtook them, and he spoke unto them these words. And they said unto him, wherefore speaketh my Lord such words as these? Far be it from thy servants that they should do such a thing. Behold, the money which we found in our sacks, not we brought back unto thee out of the land of Canaan. How then should we steal out of thy Lord's house silver or gold?
Amen. Modim anat nolat she'ata hu Eloheinu hu Elohei avotenu Abraham Yitzchak veYaakov le'olam va'ed Nikra et Habakor Tzadoq ben Cohane Tzadoq ben Lewi ben Yisrael. Baruch Yahovah Yom Yom Baruch Yahovah Tami Ubaruch Haba Likra et HaTorah. Amen.
Asher Yimatse Ito Mea Deka Vamate Bugam Anahnu Nidye Radoni La'avadim Vayomer Gam Ata Kadi Rekem Ken Hu Asher Imatse Ito Ihye We Aved Atem Tihu Queen Wama Haru Wayovidu Ish et Altato Aritza if to ish to
Amen. Hallelujah.
With whomsoever of thy servants shall be found, let him die. And we also will be my Lord's bondmen. And he said, now also let it be according unto your words. He whom it is found shall be my bondman, and ye shall be blameless. Then they hastened and took down every man his sack to the ground, and opened every man his sack.
Amen. Modim anaknula sheata hu Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu Abraham Yitzchak ve'Yaakov le'olam va'ed. Nikra et Habakor Naim ben Aki Yirmiyahu ben Naphtali ben Yisrael. Baruch Yahovah Yom Yom, Baruch Yahovah Tami, Ubaruch Haba Lekra El HaTorah.
Hallelujah.
Fish, Bagadol, Hechel, Uvachaton, Kila, what Yimase, Hagavia, but Antahat, Yamin, what Yikru, Yikreu, Silotam, Wa Mos, Ish, Al Hamoro, Wa Yasuvu, Wa Yashuvu, Ha Ira, Wa Yabo, Yehuda, Wa Echau, Beta, Yosef, Wahu, Odenu, Sham, Wa Yifni, Raphanau, Artsa.
Amen. Hallelujah.
And he searched beginning at the eldest and leaving off at the youngest. And the goblet was found in Benjamin's sack. And they rent their clothes and laden every man his ass, and returned to the city. And Yehuda and his brethren came to Joseph's house, and he was yet there. And they fell before him on the ground.
Amen. Modim anaknula sheata hu Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu Abraham Yitzchak ve'Yaakov le'olam va'ed. Nikra et Maftirah al hayom hashabat hazeh Geveret biyafia eshet zakwen Yatniel ben Yehuda ben Yisrael. Baruch Yahovah Yom Yom, Baruch Yahovah Tami, Ubaruch Haba Lekra El HaTorah. Amen. Hallelujah. Lahem.
Yosef, Ma, Hama, Hazeh, Asher, Sitem, Halo, Gidatem, Ki, Na, Kesh, Wan, Na,
Yeah. You're not.
Yen,
Kesh.
Kesh, Ish, Asher, Kamoni,
Mm-hmm.
Wayomer, Yehuda, Ma, no more, La Doni, Ma, Nadader, with Uma, Nis, Tzadoq, Elohim, Mazah, Et, Avon, Abadeka, Hinenu, Abadi, Ladoni, Gan, Anachnu, Gan, Asher, Mizeh, Hanavia, Hagavia, Bayado, Wayomer, Halila, Li, Zot, Si, Haish, Asher, Miza, Hagavia, Viyado, Hud, Yipye, Li, Big Aved, Wa'atem, Alo, Leshalom, El, Afi,
Amen. Hallelujah.
And Joseph said unto them, what deed is this that ye have done? Know ye not that such a man as I will indeed divine? And Yehuda said, what shall we say unto my Lord? What shall we speak? Or how shall we clear ourselves? Elohim hath found out the iniquity of thy servant. Behold, we are my Lord's bondmen, both we, and he also, in whose hand the cup is found. And he said, far be it from me that I should do so. The man in whose hand the goblet is found, he shall be my bondman. But as for you, get you up in peace unto your father.
Amen. Modim anachnu la she'ata Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu Abraham Yitzchak ve'Yaakov le'olam va'ed.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Brothers, you may be seated. I hope everyone had a wonderful and blessed week.
Amen.
I did until this morning. 20 after. When the Most High woke me up with a lot of pain. Some in my shoulder, some in my knee. I'm glad it's there. Whether it's Arthur, whether it's Rumor taking a visit, I gotta kick them out of this house. Because I'm not that type of person to slow down. People tease me, yeah, that African dancing you're doing is catching up. It may be, but until that leg or that arm fall off, I still will be crossing that floor. So Toda Yah for giving me the strength to be able to stand in front of his people today to bring the message. The Maftirah's portion today will be in 1 Kings chapter 3, verse 15 through chapter 4, verse 1. Now when we go back to the beginning of chapter 3, we find that Solomon, the son of David, was having these dreams. Now him being a young person at 17, those of us who have been 17 already, maybe 2 or 3 times past, some of us who just made 17, what do you dream about? Do you dream the dreams that you hope the Most High continues your life the next day? Or is your dream about finding that fantastic wife? Or is that dream about the new set of kicks, new set of Jordans? Fresh Jordans. Or is your dream about something serious that you know is going to last you a lifetime and you want the Most High to hear it? So you don't have to wake up and repeat that prayer because you know the Most High hears us all. But that prayer got to come from your heart. Okay? When I was 17, I wasn't dreaming about even being here right now. Because at 17, I was elevator surfing. And if anybody know what elevator surfing is, craziness. Yeah, you go into an elevator shaft and you ride the top of the elevator, and when the elevator in the next shaft just about past you, you jump from one side to another. So how many of my friends, that's courage, that's stupidness. That's not courage, that's stupidness. Right, so at 17, my prayers and my dreams was to one day be able to do it. Okay, so I did it. The Most High said, I will lift you over to that next elevator. I've seen many of people not make that jump.
That's right.
Okay, so what does that tell me? At 17, my dreams had to change. My prayers had to change to get me to 62. Okay? So now, David, I believe that Solomon felt that he couldn't stand up to his father's reputation because David had brought the kingdoms back together. So at 17, what can you do greater than that? You know, what can you got a whole bunch of people murmuring, talking about you, telling people what you can't do and well, he ain't gonna be this and he's not gonna be that. Oh, because your father was this and your father was that. How does that make a teen feel? Okay, so he asked the Most High. The Most High said, if there's anything I can give you, what do you want? And Solomon said, all I want is the understanding of the people so I could discern between good and bad. He didn't ask for long life. He didn't ask for no money. He didn't ask to hit the lotto or hit Keno. He didn't ask for the life of his enemies. But he just asked for discernment of judgment and understanding. Now, discernment is kind of a complicated word for our youth to define. But if I could break it down to you or possibly help you understand how to use your discernment, we can work that out at a later time. Okay, but discernment is the ability to obtain perceptions or to judge well. Okay? Making good choices, not judging a book by its cover. All right? You can see a homeless person. Who said they were homeless all their life? You can't judge them. You can't judge by what you see. You have to get the facts, figure it out, and then take it from there. So Zaquain, if you can, read 3:15. Kings 3, verse 15.
And Solomon awoke, and behold, it was a dream. And he came to Jerusalem and stood before the ark of the covenant of Yahweh and offered up burnt offerings and offered peace offerings and made a feast to all his servants.
Now, this was a dream, and all of us have dreams. All of us have visions. The Most High sends us messages, knowingly and unknowingly. You could be sitting in your car at the stoplight, and the Most High will say, okay, why don't you stop and get you some Dunkin' Donuts? And you fight, no, I'm on a diet, I don't want to eat it, I gotta go to the dentist, whatever. Most High said, turn left. And you turn left, go into Dunkin' Donuts, and you hear, bang! Oh, that was the Most High sending you that message not to go that way, but to go his way. Verse 16 through 21.
Then came there 2 women that were harlots unto the king, and stood before him. And the one woman said, Oh, my lord, I and this woman dwell in one house, and I was delivered of a child with her in the house. And it came to pass the 3rd day after I was delivered, that this woman was delivered also, and we were together. There was no stranger with us in the house, save we 2 in the house. And this woman's child died in the night, because she overlay it. And she arose at midnight, and took my son from beside me, while thy handmaid slept, and laid it in her bosom, and laid her dead child in my bosom.
Now, 21, one more.
And when I rose in the morning to give my child suck, behold, it was dead. But when I had looked well at it in the morning, behold, it was not my son, whom I did bear.
Now, there's a couple of things that happened here. One, this was an atrocity. This was a terrible, terrible thing to happen to any parent. It's to wake up in the morning and your baby that you just said goodnight to, that was breathing and everything was fine, is now laying next to you, non-responsive. Number 2, there's accusations being kicked around here. Somebody's blaming somebody for something that they feel that they did without any facts or without any witnesses. Number 3, what we call now SIDS is a sudden infant death syndrome. That could have been what's happening all along. But because the faces change in death, some individuals don't look the same that they looked in life as they did in death.
Right.
Number 4, these babies were delivered, and I wrote something, I don't know what I wrote. But in any case, a mother knows what her child looks like.
That's right.
All right? Just like you know your property. You know your property. And if somebody took, say like my tambourine, I know my tambourine is blue. But how I really know my tambourine is because I drew some cat claws on it. Because there could be 15 blue tambourines in here. So why should I argue with somebody about that being my tambourine when I know it's my property? Or like Yirmiyahu who said last week, he had an experience with some money where he was about to cover up some money. But he did cover it up. Right, but then years later he thought about it. Because suppose he would have covered up that money, picked it up, about to stick it in his pocket, and somebody turned around and said, yo man, that's mine. Yeah. Now here's a fight over $5. Okay? So you have to be aware when you start questioning people's actions, you have to have the facts. Especially if you don't have any witnesses. You gotta have some kind of marking. So parents, we know. Kids, Yellow Dean, we know. You walk out the house looking one way, you come back looking another, you might not be mine. I might have to question it, because if you got a lump, a bump, a scratch, a bite, a nick, a tear, we're gonna question it. Okay, so now the questions that they were bringing, or that was being brought to Solomon, was that how did this baby die? How could he figure out who's telling the truth? Because now two women have a baby that they truly want. One mistakenly laid on it in their sleep. Or the baby just, the Most High said, maybe not now. Not for you right now.
Right.
But that mother's distraught. And she wants her baby. Now, you laying next to somebody whose baby is crying. Okay, so if I decide, oh, I'm going to get me a baby. That's going to be my baby. I'm going to go to the king and I'm going to complain. She took my baby. So now the king is put in a position like, I don't know what to tell her.
Right.
I can't say no. So, let's go. 3:22.
Let's go.
And the other woman said, Nay, but the living is my son, and the dead is thy son. And this said, No, but the dead is thy son, and the living is my son. Thus they spoke before the king.
So now the argument begins. No, this is mine. No, this is mine. No, this is mine. Let it go. This is mine. How many of us, our children, fighting over a toy? This is mine. No, it's mine. Mommy! Daddy won't give me my toy. Same thing. They're playing tug of war over a living baby, over a living being. 23, please.
Then said the king, The one saith, This is my son that liveth, and thy son is the dead. And the other saith, Nay, but thy son is the dead, and my son is the living.
Now the king is getting the facts. If he wasn't a patient man, he could have made the wrong decision.
Right.
Just like with Judah and Tamar. Judah said, burn her.
Right.
Whoever it is, property she have, burn her. Oops. Just like in today's Sidrah. Whoever has the goblet, snatch him. All right, take him. Whoever has the goblet, take him. Oops. So you have to be patient. That's a part of discernment. You have to be patient in order to figure out the situation. So number one, he needed to stop the arguing. He did something that gave them a pause in time, just to see what would happen and how he could find the truth. What he did was call their bluff. 24.
And the king said, Fetch me a sword. And they brought a sword before the king.
Now, he called their bluff. 25.
And the king said, Divide the living child in two, and give half to the one and half to the other.
Ooh, what a decision. You standing up there watching your child about to be cut in half like a piece of lunch meat. What do you want the person in front of you to, or how do you think the person in front of you making this decision is feeling? How are you going to react? 26 through 27.
Then spoke the woman who the living child was unto the king.
Right.
For her heart yearned upon her son. And she said, Oh, my lord, give her the living child, and in no wise slay it. But the other said, It shall be neither mine nor thine. Divide it. Then the king answered and said, Give her the living child, and in no wise slay it. She is the mother thereof.
Now, at this time, I bet you everybody in the audience was like, oh, what's he going to do? You're going to chop up that baby. But now the real mother is saying, no, don't kill her. Don't kill her, because whatever happened apparently was an accident. But that's not going to make up for the accident. Because if you split the baby in half, what do we got? Two halves of a dead baby. Anyway, so now nobody has a baby. I think Solomon being so touched in his heart that this woman voluntarily gave up her baby just to save it from somebody who was lying.
Wow.
Because you don't know if things would have went south with this situation, and that woman gave her baby to the lady who said that she switched them. You don't know how that baby would have turned out.
Right.
She might have done that baby wrong just because her baby died. So now I got to take something that doesn't belong to me. I'm not going to treat it well, am I? 28.
And all Israel heard of the judgment which the king had judged, and they feared the king, for they saw that the wisdom of Elohim was in him to do justice.
So King Solomon was king over all Israel. All hail King Solomon. Now the message to close out, the message I believe that this portion should bring us awareness to is, Yellow D, and I need y'all to listen. The message, don't lie about what you're not sure of. Okay? You have friends out there, I know, that say, oh, well, just tell your parents you did such and such. No. Bad move. Number 2, don't pass the blame about something that you're not sure of. Because you could wind up with your foot in your mouth and somebody's foot somewhere else. Number 3, look at yourself. Okay, look at yourself before passing judgment on somebody else. Matter of fact, don't even pass judgment on someone else. Figure out the situation before you open up your mouth. If you ask for your opinion, get the facts first and research. Those don't pop off at the top of your head and start talking smack. Because that makes you look unintelligent. Because if you're wrong, somebody's going to come back and point it out. And that's the end of my portion because I can't make out the rest of it. So y'all for your listening ears.
Let's give Geveret another round of applause. Sidrah for her life. Sidrah for her testimony. And it just goes to show, and the messages are going to be geared to our young men because that's who we have in the room at this time. That Yehovah could be with you as a young man. You don't have to wait till you become a man on your own to ask the Creator to come in your life. Solomon was a testimony of that he asked Yah, I can't do this job alone. And I need to be able to make sound decisions. The moral of the story was that Yah gave him what he asked for. Most of us would ask for, let me hit the lotto. Or let me get the car, the newest car that's out on the block that drive itself. You know, whatever it is, let me be able to jump higher than Michael Jordan and dunk the ball in the... But that's not what he asked for. He asked for wisdom so that he could be able to govern Yah's people. Solomon was one of the richest people on the planet. He never asked for it. Solomon didn't live a long life. Remember, that was a part of the agreement. If you follow this, you're going to live a long life. Solomon didn't make it past 50 years of age. He was a very young man. By 56, 57. So he didn't even make it to 60. That's young. It's a young man. So make decisions that are going to cause you to live a long life. Now, Sidrah, and I appreciate when a person, an elder, can give some history about who they are. They don't have to share the whole gamut of who they are, but at least give you some information. How many people grew up with elevators?
No, y'all. Put your hand up.
So, elevators are very dangerous. And the elevators that we grew up on, one went up on the even floors and one went up on the odd floors. And to get through that whole gamut, you had to figure out how to get through that. And so that could take a limb off for you. or it could kill you. And so to know that, yeah, at the age that she was, she didn't make a wise decision, but Todayah, he protected her from that. And that's what you learn from that lesson. Dad, I did something foolish, man. That could have cost me an arm. It could have cost me my life. Now, once you say Todayah, you got to be smart enough not to make that same decision again. Because again, Yehovah gave you mercy and said, hey, I'm going to let you have this pass, but you're going to bump your head on this one. You got to go home with this big old knot on your head. What's wrong with you? Oh, I fell in the yard. No, you didn't. I was playing on the melody. Yeah. There was a lot of stuff that we did living in the concrete jungle. Living in the projects, the walls, this is what the walls were looking like in the projects. When you hit your head on one of them walls, did you ever hear something? It was ding. So simple things, young man. It's trust in Yehovah, call on Yah, ask him to help you with whatever you're going through, and follow through with your portion, and the Most High will see you through all of it. Trust me, I grew up in the projects. I've seen a lot of things happen in the projects, and Todayah, he just picked me up and said, take you out of there. That's a blessing. And so, again, we thank Yah. We thank Yah for her lesson. Hallelujah. Let us stand before Yah and close out this particular portion of our day. Let us sing HaTorah. Howbeit, we're going to say Gore or close this particular portion of our day. HaTorah. Say go HaTorah, wake them all. Wherever I shall be, return unto thee, for thy word to be fulfilled. In our hearts is to thee. Say go HaTorah, wake them all. Oh, how can we draw closer to each other in the spirit of true righteousness? My life, is the only way we find. Say go HaTorah, wake them all. Hallelujah. Shabbat Shalom Lakem. Todayah for being alive. That makes me feel good to be alive. And if I was dead, I wouldn't know. You know, so I'm Todayah. I know I'm alive, and I feel good. Todayah. I Todayah for the meals that I've had this week, and we didn't have no Christmas meals. We didn't have no Hanukkah meals. We had a meal. Todah for breakfast, to be able to get up for breakfast and have a nice lunch and a nice dinner and fall asleep while you're eating and start drooling and wake up. Eat again. Todah. So wonderful blessing. And so let's sing about the song Matai. It's when will we return home. If you've never been to the land of Israel, I pray the Most High bless each and every one of us and make it there. I've been a lot of places, and Israel is on the top of my list. And so I'm thankful to Yah that we know we have a homeland, and He's blessed us to know where it is and how to get there, what the plan is, get ourselves in order. And there's so many things we have to do to get there. So we asking Yah musically, when will we return home? My tie is on page 4 in our song booklet. We're going to sing it twice because we don't sing this song that often. But we got to get the melody and we got to get the words. And by the time we get to the second time, we'll be perfect. Hallelujah. My tie is on page 4 in our song booklet. Matai, Yahovah Nelek El Beitenu. Matai, Yahovah Emolanu. Matai, Ekwadel Devani Tomi. Matai, Yahovah Emolanu. Ashe Anatu Osibrato. Oh, Imanatu Belevyama. Nato Tevanina Yahovah. Matai. Natu Lemone. Matai. Emanatu Nato Bewaro. Hallelujah. I'll sing Baruch Hashem, the blessed name of the Creator. Don't want to go without saying, blessed be the name of the Most High who looks out for us and protects us in every form or fashion when we are living on this planet. So Baruch Hashem, blessed be the name of Yah, is found on page 6 in our song booklet. Baruch Hashem, El Yahovah. Baruch Hashem, El Yahovah. Baruch Hashem, Yahovah. Baruch Hashem. Blessed be the name of Yahweh. Blessed be the name of Yahweh. Blessed be the name, blessed be the name of
Tell Yahweh.
Y'all hungry? Hallelujah. Please be seated, brothers and sisters. Thanking y'all for the musicians. They made me sweat today. Praise Yah for His goodness and His mercy. At this time, we're going to have read for us the 8th proverb. And at this time, we are going to call on Azaquena. We just had a Yom related. Thankful to Yah that He allowed her to travel and return back unto us in safety and in peace. So at this time, if you would all stand and let us even ask Geveret to even Read the 8th proverb for us. Hallelujah. Caught you off guard. Hallelujah.
Tzadoq for my life, for another year of life. Tzadoq for taking me and on a beautiful cruise vacation and returning me safely. I thank you, Most High, for being able to greet you all again. And back again. I'm here until I leave again.
Hallelujah.
8 Proverbs. Thus not wisdom call, and understanding put forth her voice, in the top of high places by the way, where the path meet she standeth, beside the gates, at the entry of the city, at the coming in at the doors. She cried aloud, unto you, O men, I call, and my voice is to the sons of men. O ye thoughtless, understand prudence, and ye fools be ye of an understanding heart. Hear, for I will speak excellent things, and the opening of my lips shall be right things. For my mouth shall utter truth, and wickedness is an abomination to my lips. All the words of my mouth are in righteousness. There is nothing perverse or crooked in them. They are all plain to him that understandeth, and right to them that find knowledge. Receive my instructions, and not silver, and knowledge rather than choice gold. For wisdom is better than rubies, and all things desirable are not to be compared unto her. I, wisdom, dwell with prudence, and find out knowledge of devices. The fear of Jehovah is to hate evil, pride, and arrogancy, and the evil way, and the froward mouth do I hate. Counsel is mine, and sound wisdom. I understand power is mine. By me kings reign, and princes decree justice. By me princes rule, nobles, even all the judges of the earth. I love them that love me, and those that seek me earnestly shall find me. Riches and honor are with me, yea, enduring riches and righteousness. My fruit is better than gold, yea, than fine gold, and my produce than choice silver. I walk in the way of righteousness in the midst of the path of justice, that I may cause those that love me to inherit substance, and that I may fill their treasures. Jehovah made me as the beginning of his way, and the first of his works of old. I was set up from everlasting, and from the beginning, or ever the earth was. When there were no depths, I was brought forth. When there were no fountains abounding with water. Before the mountains were settled, before the hills was I brought forth. While as yet he not made the earth, nor the fields, nor the beginning of the dust of the world. When he established the heavens, I was there. When he set a circle upon the face of the deep. When he made firm the skies above. When the fountains of the deep showed their might. When he gave to the sea his decree, that the waters should not transgress his commandments. When he appointed the foundations of the earth, then was I by him as a thirsty, and I was daily all delight, playing always before him, playing in his habitable earth, and my delights are with the sons of men. Now therefore, ye children, hearken unto me, for happy are they that keep my ways. Hear instructions and be wise, and refuse it not. Happy is a man that hearkens to me, watching daily at my gates, waiting at the posts of my doors. For whosoever findeth me findeth life, and obtaineth favor of Jehovah. But he that misseth me wrongeth his own soul. All they that hate me love them.
Amen.
Tzadoq for again for all things and everything.
Hallelujah. We give thanks unto Yah for even blessing you, Geveret, to be able to cruise and not have any harm before you, with all those that were there. And when those two cruise ships crashed into each other, I thought about you all on the cruise ship. And so Todah Yah, that you all were not harmed and that you're back here with us in safety and in peace. Hallelujah. Let us recite the words of the 24th Psalm of Akashah as we even go into our next segment of the day. The earth is Jehovah's and the fullness thereof, the world and they that dwell therein. For he hath founded it upon the seas, and established it upon the floods. Who shall ascend into the mountain of Jehovah, and who shall stand in his holy place? He that hath clean hands and a pure heart, who hath not taken my name in vain, and hath not sworn deceitfully. He shall receive a blessing from Jehovah, and righteousness from the power of his salvation. Such is the generation that seek after him, that seek thy face, even Yaakov, Selah. Lift up your heads, O ye gates, and be ye lifted up, the everlasting doors, that the King of glory may come in. Who is the King of glory? Jehovah strong and mighty, Jehovah mighty in battle. Lift up your heads, O ye gates, yea, lift them up, ye everlasting doors, that the King of glory may come in. Who then is the King of glory? Jehovah of hosts, he is the King of glory. Selah. At this time, let us all stand to even acknowledge the Saw of the Bayit, the Cohane, male and female alike, brothers and sisters, sons and daughters, by saying hallelujah, 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 Yahweh, Yahweh, Yahweh. At this time, we are going to separate our children to go into the arena that they're going to learn in about these holy words of Yah. For those that remain, please be seated. First and foremost, giving all honor and praise unto the great King, who's always doing great things in the universe, for your lives, the lives of your loved ones. Todah Yah, for getting us through part of this silly season, because we're still in it. It's not over until New Year's. And then they start their cycle of all of their crazy hollering days. I want to thank the Creator again for being with us in these times and seasons when things get a little bit crazy on the roads, in the air, on the sea. Yah provides for us even when we're not even thinking about it. When we're having fun, Jehovah's looking out for us. And so I thank Yah for this moment and this season. Before getting into today's portion, I wanted to ask the young men and women, who was here last week? What do you remember about last week's portion? And what was it called? It was called Wayeshev, which means, what stood out last week? 'Cause there's a lot of meat in these portions between chapter 37 and chapter 45. It's a lot of meat in these portions. So I'd like to know what y'all learned last week. Please don't make me call on you. Let's start with Gaalia. He's going to turn to the portion. I got you. Well, while Zabdiel's laughing at you, let's get him. No. Let's go.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Something that stood out in the portion last week to me.
Mm-hmm.
Yehuda his own path that he had to go through.
What do you think about it?
Well, my Maftirah's portion is next week, so I can't disclose too much because it ties in with Ezekiel and.
A lot of these people won't be here next week. They'll probably stay home, so go ahead.
Okay, so, and in my Maftirah's portion, it talks about Ezekiel saying that the stick of Joseph, which is in the hand of Ephraim, and the stick of Yehuda will come together and join as one nation. And it stuck out to me, Yehuda's own journey that he had to go through, because it's, what am I trying to say? It like accentuates almost the two nations that we had at the time, and how it brought us back together. If that makes sense.
That was good.
Let me try
I got you.
Yehuda and Joseph, in my eyes, are probably the two most outstanding tribes that there are out of the 12 tribes.
Why do you say that?
Why? Because from what Yehuda had to go through and his own experiences in life is what ultimately allowed him to kind of be the ultimate ruler over his brothers, even though he wasn't the oldest. Joseph, a lot of people would say Joseph is that person who was the leader after Yaakov, but in my eyes it's more Yehuda, because he's the one who has the throne and has the kingdom. So what he had to go through in order to go ahead and humble his spirit to how he was broken down when he saw Joseph and noticed that was his brother, and how it kind of all brought everybody back together from what he experienced and what he had to tell his father, like, no, bring Benjamin with me because I got him, trust me. He learned a lot, and we can all learn a lot from Yehuda. Amen.
Amen. Good. Galia.
Talk about the beginning of the question.
The who?
Beginning of the question.
Okay.
So, Joseph is like how they made a story to tell Jacob how Joseph died, got captured, and small parts. I got broken down last week, but like basically how when Joseph was trying to find his brothers, like got broken down saying that in order for Joseph, like how Joseph found his brothers, they were talking loud and everything. So
I want to ask you, what do you think
of what?
of the portion? Not how Mishadeh taught it. What did you think of the writing?
The portion?
Okay, I got you. I understand. You finished? Yes. Said it. Told everybody. Who was here last week? Okay, great. Hallelujah. She said she wasn't here last week, but she knows the portion, so. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom. My opinion on the whole portion is that, me personally, I feel like Joseph, like out of all his brothers, I feel like he probably went through the most out of all of them, based on what they did to him and like how he went through it. But like, I feel like it's a good thing that like he got out of that situation and just knowing that the Most High was with him through it all, and like basically how he just overcame all of it, and like at the end of it, him and his brothers are probably gonna be cool again. Well, I know.
Okay, great. Me too, guys. Like that. All right. Anybody else want to share? Okay, Sister Tegma. Shabbat shalom.
Along those lines, the story of Joseph has always stood out to me. To the point of, it teaches us the lesson of how to deal with people in general, whether it's family or friends. As long as you are in tune with the Creator, you're gonna go through trials and tribulations, but in the end, you will be tremendously blessed. And all the people that have done you wrong, or tried to, or were your adversary, the Most High will deal with them. So it's not our portion to worry about them and to seek vengeance, because we all know vengeance belongs to God.
Very awesome. I wanted to do that because the portion that we're in today is a continuation of last week's portion. And so it's important. And I wanted to really speak to the young men and women, because how old was Joseph when all of this stuff started happening? 17. How many of y'all are 17 or close to 17? Okay. So there's some things happening in your life that you're probably not going to share with us, but Todah, you'll see how all this plays out in your life. This history is left here so that we can see that our ancient forefathers were not supernatural. They were human beings. Bottom line, they were human beings. The family dynamic. How many people have grown up in a large family? The whole room. It's serious business, right? You have siblings, you have parents, and things happen, you know. A lot of times we say, you know, my mother and father, they were wrong how they raised me. No, just take the information and use it wisely. Joseph and his brothers, there was a lot of pain in this family. A lot of pain and a lot of hurt. Just think about this. And then we're going to play the scenario over very quickly before we go into the portion. So they don't like Joseph. They use the word hate. That when they saw him coming from afar, the first thing that came to their mind was what?
Let's kill him.
Kill him. Kill him. Now, I love all of my siblings, and I had 9 on my mother's side and 2 on my father's side. I love all my siblings. There was one sister I was like, you come over here again, I'm choking you half to death. That's how things play out in the family. Now, you don't literally do that, because then you got to deal with Ima and Abba. But that's how you might feel. But as a grown-up, when you get older, just because you clash with somebody, the first thought should not be to kill them. The next thing is they throw him into a pit. Have you ever seen a pit? It's a big hole in the ground. There's no water in there. He can't get out. There's no ladder. There's no way to climb out. These guys go sit down and eat. They go have lunch or brunch or dinner or whatever they had, and he's in the pit crying. They're ignoring him. Think about, and I'm not talking about fake sex trafficking or trafficking or kidnapping, but I'm talking about somebody takes you from your home and you have no idea where you're going. You don't know where you're going. You don't know nobody there. And guess what? Israel and Egypt, that's a far distance, believe it or not. In a vehicle from Israel is at least 10 to 12 hours. So you know, from Canaan land where Joseph was, that was a trek on camels.
11-day journey.
Took a couple of days to get there. And so now he gets to this place, he don't know nobody, but all he has is his character and the lessons that his father taught him. The contrast to that is they done went home and told their father a big old lie. And the man is in pain about his son. It didn't matter if it was Reuben or what, that's my son. So now y'all come back home with this story. He don't know it, but they come back with this story that, is this his coat? He could have been ripped up. We don't know. There's no evidence, no body. This thing pained Yaakov something terrible. Now Yehuda, it says, and Yehuda left. Because Yehuda couldn't take the heat no more. He couldn't take the pressure no more. Seeing Yaakov cry about this boy Joseph day in and day out. You ever meet a person who lost their child? They lost their child to death, really know that their child died? There is pain that's a pain that will never leave a person. And so here it is, Yehuda moves on and he ends up marrying a Canaanite. Do y'all realize that all of them married Canaanites or Egyptians? They didn't send them back to Padan Aram. That was over. They met the locals. Tell you about Yehuda. Remember, Yehuda was the other one that said, well, let's not kill him, let's sell him off. Right? Well, guess what? Yehuda had to feel the pain of what his father felt by losing his 2 older boys. And another thing about life that you'll find out is that through pain and through experience, you'll know how to elevate and learn and continue to move and get closer to the Creator. Yehuda had to learn that lesson. So much so that when Tamar, they said, Tamar should die. She ain't say one word. She just put stuff out there. There's that, there's that, there's that. What was his answer? She is more righteous than I am. That embarrassment hurt him so bad it was a thing that made him turn around and change. Yehuda's whole character changed. So now he steps into his role as one of the leaders of the house of Israel, the main leader in the nation. And so here we come to the story of Joseph. Now Joseph goes into Egypt and he lands the best job. He ends up the head of the house. He's running the house. Then some beautiful sister who's married said that he raped me. Anybody ever been to jail?
Yeah.
For one night, just one night. Was it a good feeling? No. Now think about being in prison for over 10 years and you're innocent. So this is racking on his spirit. Also, I'm going to tell you something. When you're cut, it's like a cut that you get on your hand or your arm. That heals. It takes time to heal, right? Same thing with a cut that cuts in your soul, in your spirit. That takes time. So I'm telling you that while they are at home with Yaakov is still in pain about this guy, Joseph. But everything Joseph went through brought him to this moment that we're about to read in. Everything that he had gone through brought him to this very moment. What is the point in all that? At 17 years of age, you might not go through a whole lot. But trust me, over time, when you start interacting with people, you'll find out that things will be done to you that will cause you to be injured. And I don't mean injured where you lose a limb. I'm talking about within your soul. And so, again, remember when Joseph first started out, he said, I saw the sun and the moon and the 11 stars. Was there anything about the Creator in that? He was talking about who? Himself. Watch how he transformed into being a man of Yah. It's all about the experiences that you go through. And I'm going to tell you something else that I had to learn, and I'm learning, and I think a lot of us are learning. Yehovah left these words. He said, trust not in the arm of flesh. Trust not in the arm of flesh. Yes, you got to have a relationship with people. You got to trust people, but people are going to hurt you. But don't let that hurt make you walk away from God. A lot of people end up walking away from the Creator because they held people in high esteem, and then when that person broke their heart, they ended up walking away from God. There's a price that they have to pay, and there's a price you have to pay if you run somebody off. So be careful in all these relationships, and we all have something that we got to learn. We're going to fight with our brothers and sisters. You know, sisters and brothers don't get along even when they get older. So again, learn how to love your brother and your sister and not have that hatred. These dudes really had a feeling about Joseph. But it all transformed Joseph into becoming this guy who would stand before Pharaoh. Hallelujah. Let's get to the portion. The portion is found in the book of Genesis, the 41st chapter, and it's called MiQetz. Anybody know what MiQetz means?
At the end.
At the end. At the end of. Let's read the Bible.
And it came to pass at the end of 2 full years that Pharaoh dreamed, and behold, he stood by the river.
2 full years after what? After interpreting the dream of the butler and the baker. Think about it. You sitting in prison, doing time for something that you didn't do. You told the guy before he left, hey man, when you get reinstated, talk to somebody for me. Get me out of here. I don't even think that in Joseph's mind that he was trying to get a position in Egypt. He wanted to get out of prison so he could go back home. He'd have figured out the little $20 they gave him. He'd have figured out, let me get me a donkey and get back to Canaan land. But his plan was not to be in Egypt. But Yehovah is the one that makes the plan.
And behold, there came up out of the river 7 kine, well favored and fat fleshed, and they fed in the reed grass. And behold, 7 other kind came up after them out of the river, ill favored and lean fleshed, and stood by the other kind upon the brink of the river.
What was one of Joseph's skills? He could interpret dreams. And it just so happened that the Creator created this moment so that Joseph could get elevated and be the guy who becomes the guy that the children of Israel, his father and his brothers, needed in Egypt.
And the ill-favored and lean-fleshed kind did eat up the 7 well-favored and fat kind. So Pharaoh awoke, and he slept, and dreamed a second time. And behold, 7 ears of corn came up upon one stalk, rank and good. And behold, 7 ears, thin and blasted with the east wind, sprung up after them. And the thin ears swallowed up the 7 rank and full ears. And Pharaoh awoke, and behold, it was a dream.
Anybody ever have a dream, a nightmare? Wake up and go back to sleep and dream it again?
Pick up where you left off.
That's when you wake up and you hit the floor. But fuck was shy. Because I'm telling you, man, some dreams seem like they are real, like you really in the moment. You're really in the moment. There's nothing you can do about what's going on. And so Yah made this thing come upon Pharaoh where he really knew that this thing was serious. He's basically seeing cows, big healthy cows, get eaten up, sucked up by some animals that were sick. Same thing with the field, the stalks. He's seeing healthy stalks, and then he's seeing some unhealthy stalks eat these healthy stalks up. And so now he knows there's a message in it.
And it came to pass in the morning that his spirit was troubled, and he sent and called for all the magicians of Egypt and all the wise men thereof. And Pharaoh told them his dream, but there was none that could interpret them for unto Pharaoh.
Just remember that the wise men, the magicians, all these guys on Pharaoh's payroll. All these guys on the payroll. He gave 50,000, he gets 70,000, this one gets so-and-so, this one get this much. And then so when he said, I need y'all to answer some questions. I don't know, my Lord. All of y'all guys is making all this money, nobody know what's going on.
Then spoke the chief butler unto Pharaoh, saying, I make mention of my faults this day. Pharaoh was wroth with his servants, and put me in the ward of the house of the captain of the guard, me and the chief baker. And we dreamed a dream in one night, I and he. We dreamed each man according to the interpretation of his dream. And there was with us there a young man, a Hebrew, servant to the captain of the guard. And we told him, and he interpreted to us our dreams. To each man according to his dream he did interpret. And it came to pass as he interpreted to us, so it was. I was restored unto mine office, and he was hanged.
And after that, he probably bowed and said, thank you, my Lord, for not killing me.
Then Pharaoh sent and called Joseph, and they brought him hastily out of the dungeon. And he shaved himself, and changed his raiment, and came in unto Pharaoh. And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, I have dreamed a dream. There is none that can interpret it. And I have heard it say of thee, that when thou hearest a dream, thou canst interpret it. And Joseph answered Pharaoh, saying, it is not in me. Elohim will give Pharaoh an answer of peace.
Now you can tell how he's growing. One of the other things I want to point out, and it's very important, especially to the males, but both male and female. If you're looking for a job, there are some things that you're going to have to do in order to impress the people that get the job from you. There are things that you don't have to do to violate Shabbat, but make sure that you present yourself in a way that people will be impressed with you. Number one, they're going to look at what you're wearing. Please don't ever go to a job interview with friends. That's the first thing. Because somebody's going to get the job and somebody's not. Second thing is you don't go to the job, on a job interview with your pants hanging down, looking like a hoodlum. That's the wrong thing to do. Always go to an interview, find somebody if you don't have one. A shirt, a tie, and a jacket. That's impressive to people. Also, the thing that they're going to be checking for is your knowledge, your skill set. Where are you? And if you say, I may not know that, but I'm a fast learner, that's very impressive to an interviewer too. And so here it is. Joseph was not prepared for this. They had to hurry him up, shave him up, give him some clothes, because he's living in the prison all this time. Now he's got to get presented. He got to be presentable before Pharaoh. He can't have no shaggy head, smelling, face all dirty. He got to clean up and he's got to present himself, because he doesn't even realize this. He's having a job interview. He's at a job interview.
Right.
An impromptu job interview. Proceed.
And Pharaoh spoke unto Joseph in my dream, behold, I stood upon the brink of the river, and behold, there came up out of the river 7 kinds, fat-fleshed and well-favored, and they fed in the reed grass. And behold, 7 other kind came up after them, poor and very ill-favored, and lean-fleshed, such as I never saw it in the land of Egypt for fatness. And the lean and ill-favored kind did eat up the first 7 fat kind. And when they had eaten them up, it could not be known that they had eaten them. But they were still ill-favored as at the beginning. So I awoke, and I saw in my dream, and behold, 7 ears came up upon one stalk, full and good. And behold, 7 ears withered, thin, and blasted with the east wind sprung up after them. And the thin ears swallowed up the 7 good ears. And I told it unto the magicians.
The guys that's on my payroll.
But there was none that could declare it to me. And Joseph said unto Pharaoh, the dream of Pharaoh is one. What Elohim is about to do, he had declared unto Pharaoh. The 7 good kind are 7 years, and the 7 good ears are 7 years. The dream is one. And the 7 lean and ill-favored kind that came up after them are 7 years. And also the 7 empty ears blasted with the east wind, there shall be 7 years of famine.
I bet you there was mumbling in the court of Pharaoh at this time. Because how this guy come out, and they took him out of prison, and now he's showing all of us up, explaining this thing. So now they're listening.
That is the thing which I spoke unto Pharaoh. What Elohim is about to do, he hath shown unto Pharaoh. Behold, there come 7 years of great plenty throughout all the land of Egypt.
Notice what happened with Joseph. Remember when the story first starts out in chapter 37, Joseph is kind of egotistical, correct? He's the guy that's saying, hey, I'm going to be ruling over y'all. And they're like, what? They want to fight. He's the guy that want to make you fight. And so now his whole ruach has changed just because of what he's been through. His spirit, who he is, his character, he's been through a lot of turmoil. But Yah has helped him through it. Don't give up the fight. Nowadays, I hear a lot about suicide. People ready to commit suicide. They called me a name. You remember growing up, how many names we got called?
Dozens.
I had locks. I was called Mophead and Medusa. Those 2 names. And they hurt me. But I never thought about slitting my wrist or taking some pills. Today, that's the first thing. Oh, they called me a name on social media. Pop, I'm dead. No. Life is going to be difficult. People are going to be difficult. They're going to say and do things that their intent is to hurt you. But fight through it. Understand and believe who you are. That's why it's so important to love yourself. Before you love anybody else. Because somebody might say something and they are aiming to hurt you. But you gotta stand on your own 2 feet and don't let that hurt you. There's a proverb that talks about an insult. They say it's a wise man that even overlooks an insult. Some things people are gonna say, hey, you might have to say something back, keep it moving. They know next time not to mess with you.
Not to mess. And there shall arise after them 7 years of famine, and all the plenty shall be forgotten in the land of Egypt, and the famine shall consume the land, and the plenty shall not be known in the land by reason of that famine which followeth, for it shall be very grievous.
You know, we make statements, I'm starving. Are you really? Do you know what starving is? You might be really hungry, but you never really experienced starvation. Starvation is you don't eat all week. You don't even eat next week. You might not eat the week after that. Famine is it's just a scarcity of food. But I can guarantee you everybody in here has had at least 3, 4, 5 meals a day. And I put it that way because when they're on break, when our children are on break, they have 3, 4, 5 meals a day. You know, when during the breaks, it's like, oh gosh, they're home. You buy 20 loaves of bread in one day, 20 loaves of bread are gone. So that's the children. So again, we have to be wise. We gotta be smart and understand that, you know, even some of the words that we use, we don't know what starvation is. Todayah.
And for that, the dream was double unto Pharaoh twice. It is because the thing is established by Elohim, and Elohim will surely bring it to pass. Now therefore let Pharaoh look out a man discreet and wise, and set him over the land of Egypt.
You ever have problems in your life and it seems like they're never ending? You get hit with one thing and then something else come behind it, and then something else come behind that. And your thing is, yeah, when will this end? Well, this was the end of what the suffering that Joseph had to go through in order for him to elevate and become second in command. Now, who would ever think that all of the problems that Joseph went through, that he'd end up the vice president? Think about it. Who would ever think that, you know, my brothers hated me? You know, when you got brothers and sisters that don't care for you like that, a lot of times you carry that in the world and think that everybody hates you. But now, then he gets accused of something he didn't do. He gets thrown in jail. He's been asking people, hey, get me out of here. I'm innocent. How many people have sat on death row for 30 years and were innocent of a crime? And then they give them $1 million and say, hey, have a happy life. And don't forget to pay your taxes. Understand that life can be difficult, but the Creator is there to help you through. If you wake up every day, trust and believe that the God that knows all, sees all, will help you through this process. If you acknowledge. Now, there's some people that get in this low state and they stay there. The Creator, he forgot about me. He don't love me. Well, you need to stay in prison a couple more years. That's what happened with Joseph. Joseph really, at that point in time, you think y'all don't know Joseph? He knew him enough to know you need 2 more years. You need 2 more years. And then when I do this miracle, it's going to make you say, man, this power is something else. Then he come and Joseph, get yourself together. Come on, let's go. Where we going? You're going to see Pharaoh. I'm going to see Pharaoh for what? What did I do? Don't worry about it. Zim took all the hair off his face, got him straightened up, washed him up, and now he's standing here giving the interpretation of the dream. Tell me Yah won't do it. Yah is capable of doing any and everything. We just got to stay the course. And don't think, Yeladim, that you're going to go through this life. My emo, my Abba gave me the tools. I got the information. I got the Torah. I'm good. Trust me when I tell you. Life happens. Life happens. You're going to go through some stuff. You're going to be calling Saul, Harun, Imam, Muzar, Zakwe, and Yamiel. How do I get out of this one? And they're going to tell you some things. They might say, patience. What you mean, patience? Got to wait this thing out. There are going to be times when your rent is due. And your mind's going to be like, yeah, my emo told me don't call her again. So, you got a decision to make. Your decision is you got to figure out how you're going to get the money. And your mind could go right or left. Your mind could say, oh, that sister looked like she got money, could knock her over her head and take her money. Or you could go work extra somewhere and make money and pay your rent and do all of the things that you got to do. We're all, as adults, we're all faced with decisions. Zabiel came back, saw him, I said, so how's life? He said, man, this adulting thing is really hard. Yeah. Start getting hair on your face. Got a little job. Life changes. And he said, oh, I'm gonna get my own space, get my own place. Oh, it's $750 a month. I got that. Lose your job. Amy, can I come back home? Oh, we rented your room out. Life can be difficult. But trust me when I tell you, all these people in this room love you so that they're willing to give you the right information to help you along in this process. How many adults have been through this process and still going through this process? You could be at a job for 20 years and they say, I'm sorry, but your department is being cut. That's, look, the case that goes, I'm serious. It's just that quick. You say, wow. You start thinking about all of the things that's going to collapse unless I get me a job. Say, where's Jacob at this point? Jacob's at home crying about Joseph. Joseph's got to think about what he's going to do with his life. And guess what? 13 years passed by. 13 years is a long time. People say, that ain't a long time. To me, it's a long time. And that time don't stop for nobody. You look up, you're 27 today, tomorrow, you're 92. If y'all let you get there. Just like that. In the blink of an eye. Just like that. And the beauty of it, Saul said it last week, is the memories are there when I was 17. They're there. The body says we're not. But the memories are still there. Appreciate every part of your life that you go through, even the pain, because the pain is going to teach you how to trust in God, how to move past pain and hurt. And guess what? We're not talking about covering up. We're talking about dealing with it and moving past it and let it make you a better man or a better woman. Let's go.
Now therefore let Pharaoh look out a man discreet and wise, and set him over the land of Egypt. Let Pharaoh do this, and let him appoint overseers over the land, and take up the 5th part of the land of Egypt in the 7 years of plenty, and let them gather all the food of these good years that come, and lay up corn under the hand of Pharaoh for food in the cities.
Think about
Let them keep it.
Think about that. That's another lesson. Even though we're not hurt for a famine, but think about putting away some money for when a rainy day does come. When things get tough, because they will get tough, that $1,000 you just spent on the newest kicks on your shoes or the 50-inch TV you just bought, you could have had that for something else that you really needed for now. So when you get your paycheck, I learned this, and somebody told me, this an elder told me, she said, when you get your paycheck, who do you pay first?
Pay yourself first.
Pay yourself first. Take a little something, put it away, and put it away. Don't put it in a drawer and then go back and say, oh, I need you. I need you now. That's every time you put it away, I need you now. No, you got to be able to put that stuff away and make sure when it gets tough, anybody, how many people, well, most of the elders that lived in, that came up in that time are not here anymore. But there were elders that were born in the Depression. Depression was a serious time. Look up the Depression and see how serious that time was. So again, you think America's going to be sitting pretty high for a long time? Don't believe the hype. Don't believe the hype. So put some money away. When you get that money, even if you're doing cutting grass, and you get paid, put some of that money away. Don't go and spend it all at one time. Go see.
And the food shall be for a store to the land against the 7 years of famine, which shall be in the land of Egypt, that the land perish not through the famine. And the thing was good in the eyes of Pharaoh.
That's what wins us over in the eyes of other people. Remember the Most High said in Deuteronomy, he said, this shall be your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the people. And so Joseph went and spoke something intelligently, something that made sense. It was logical of Pharaoh. He said, this dream, the way you broke it down, man, this thing is, you smart. I need to make you the viceroy. And all the chief men said, hold him, hey, you just let him out. How he get your job? It was through his intelligence. His intelligence, and Yah prepared that role for him.
And the thing was good in the eyes of Pharaoh, and in the eyes of all his servants. And Pharaoh said unto his servants, can we find such a one as this, a man in whom the spirit of Elohim is?
Now, do you think anybody said no? Not when Pharaoh had the power to lift your head off your shoulders. Everybody said, yes, my Lord.
And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, for as much as Elohim hath shown thee all this, there is none so discreet and wise as thou. Thou shalt be over my house, and according to thy word shall all my people be ruled. Only in the throne will I be greater than thou. And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, see, I have set thee over all the land of Egypt. And Pharaoh took off his signet ring from his hand, and put it upon Joseph's hand, and arrayed him in vestures of fine linen, and put a gold chain about his neck.
Anybody ever worked their way up the ladder on a job? Started on the bottom, and you made yourself, you got yourself to one of the top levels at the job. And it's a good feeling when people can call on you and say, well, Mina, what you think? And you say, pop, 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 pop. You give wisdom. People take that wisdom. And then if the job shuts down or they move somewhere else, what do? They call you up. You think you could come over here and work for me? Because they see the results that you can produce. And so, again, when you get out there, don't just start at the bottom and stay there. Move your way up until you can get to the point to become an entrepreneur, unless you got that plan already set forth and you got to work a job. Man, work your way up that ladder. Let your integrity and your character, your righteous character, put me in front of everybody that you meet. And trust me when I tell you, to this day, I still got my ex-bosses who work for different companies calling me, asking me to come work for them. I'm not moving to Michigan. Not happening. Just not happening. I'm not going to Washington State. I don't want to even go to Florida. I love Charlotte. And so again, when you have that skill and they want it, trust me when I tell you, they will do everything that they can to pull you on, because they know that you bring a blessing to whatever they're trying to do. And so again, your intelligence is going to win you over. Not trying to muscle nobody, talking about, you better give me the job. Or, why you give her the job? Worry about you. Do the best job that you can do. And trust me when I tell you, elevation will come. Let's read.
And he made him to ride in the second chariot which he had. And they cried before him, Abret! And he set him over all the land of Egypt. And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, I am Pharaoh, and without thee shall no man lift his hand or his foot in all the land of Egypt. And Pharaoh calls Joseph's name Zephanath Paneah, and he gave him to wife Asnath, the daughter of Potiphera, priest of On. And Joseph went out over the land of Egypt. And Joseph was 30 years old when he stood before Pharaoh, king of Egypt.
13 years passed by, and look at all the stuff that's happened in his life in 13 years. And trust me when I tell you, Joseph is probably flabbergasted that he's riding the chariot. He couldn't even, and now the dreams that he had when he was a young man is becoming, he's like, wow, I didn't see it happening like this. You never know how Yah's going to play out a story. You just got to wait it out. And don't think that because I'm in this pain, I will stay in this pain. It don't work like that. If you doing your part to make sure that you can get out of that pain and you work it, Yah will work with you. But don't keep your mind stuck on pain and hurt.
And Joseph went out from the presence of Pharaoh and went throughout all the land of Egypt. And in the 7 years of plenty, the earth brought forth in heaps. And he gathered up all the food of the 7 years which were in the land of Egypt and laid up the food in the cities.
I'm going to tell you why they loved Joseph. And they ended up loving Joseph because Joseph went out there and introduced himself. He talked to the farmers. He talked to the people. This is what we're going to do. This is the plan. What do you think? How do we work this out? Joseph didn't go there with his own man. I got the master plan. He's got to deal with other people to help him come up with the master plan. That's a part of relationships. You can't do this by yourself. You need other people to help you come up with thoughts that you didn't think. And so Joseph became the guy, but he needed some other guys to help him come up with a plan on how to become productive for 7 years. Even though Yah said it's going to happen, they came up with a plan to make sure not only we're going to plant, but this is what we're going to do. This is the part of the land that we can plant in that's really fertile that they didn't even think of. And then they produced and they got the people to help. So see.
And he gathered up all the food of the 7 years which were in the land of Egypt, and laid up the food in the cities. The food of the field which was round about every city laid he up in the same. And Joseph laid up corn as the sand of the sea, very much, until they left off numbering, for it was without number. And until Joseph were born 2 sons before the year of famine came.
So if he was 17, he's been in Egypt 13, that makes what? 30. So now at this point, he's getting through the 7 years of playing. So how old is he now?
37.
At least 37 years of age. And so he's gotten some experience and he's gone through a lot, and he's getting smarter and wiser.
And unto Joseph were born 2 sons before the year of famine came, whom Asnath, the daughter of Maftirah, priest of On, bore unto him. And Joseph called the name of the firstborn Manasseh, for Elohim hath made me forget all my toil and all my father's house. And the name of the second called he Ephraim, for Elohim hath made me fruitful in the land of my affliction. And the 7 years of plenty that was in the land of Egypt came to an end. And the 7 years of famine began to come, according as Joseph had said. And there was famine in all lands, but in all the land of Egypt there was bread. And when all the land of Egypt was famished, the people cried to Pharaoh for bread. And Pharaoh said unto all the Egyptians, Go unto Joseph. What he saith to you, do. And the famine was over all the face of the earth. And Joseph opened all the storehouses and sold unto the Egyptians. And the famine was sore in the land of Egypt. And all countries came into Egypt to Joseph to buy corn, because the famine was sore in all the earth.
Don't see.
Now, Jacob saw that there was corn in Egypt. And Jacob said unto his sons, Why do you look one upon another?
Now, if Joseph is 37, Reuben's got to be at least close to 60. So, you know, you could count from 60 on all the ages down. These guys are not no young bucks. These are grown men. But don't forget that they're having their own problems. They don't go into every tribe. They only pull out Yehuda and Yosef. They got their own problems. But don't forget, they still every day got to witness what Yaakov is going through still about Yosef being on. Even though it's 13 years, that's not something that he's going to forget overnight. This pain is still there. And so they sitting there, they can't really go nowhere. Judah's the only one that left, but the rest of them is sitting around looking like bewildered, like, what do we do now?
And he said, Behold, I have heard that there is corn in Egypt.
If he heard it, they heard it.
Yes.
They just didn't do anything about it.
Get you down thither and buy for us from thence, that we may live and not die. And Joseph's 10 brethren went down to buy corn from Egypt. But Benjamin, Joseph's brother, Jacob sent not with his brethren.
And you know why?
You know why he didn't send them? Because Yaakov still feel bad. He sent Yosef. And look at what happened to Yosef. And this is the child, the baby from my beloved Raquel. So there's no way I'm sending him with you. No way.
Let's put Cohane before him. And the sons of Israel came to buy among those that came. For the famine was in the land of Canaan. And Joseph was the governor over the land. He it was that sold corn, sold to all the people of the land. And Joseph's brethren came and bowed down to him with their faces to the earth. And Joseph saw his brethren and he knew them, but made himself strange unto them.
This is another thing he probably didn't envision, seeing his brothers. And because he was clean shaven, his brothers didn't recognize him. He looked different, you know. And so, and to them, he looked Egyptian. But don't forget the clothes that they wore, they looked different than everybody else. Don't forget, in last week's portion when they talked about Yehuda, there's 3 things that Yehuda gave up. What was it to Tamar?
His signet,
his staff,
and his wallet,
and his cords. His cords was like a form of Tzadoq. And the Hebrews were the only ones wearing them. The Hebrews was the only ones wearing them. Why would he give up his cords? Because the cords was a very important part, and it was a part of his garment. So again, we look differently. And we might have still had some ways about us that Yosef said, who's these loud guys coming in here? His brothers.
but made himself strange unto them, and spoke roughly with them. And he said unto them, Whence come ye? They said, From the land of Canaan to buy corn. Joseph knew his brethren, but they knew him not. And Joseph remembered the dreams which he dreamed of them, and said of them, Ye are spies, to see the nakedness of the land ye are come. And they said unto him, Nay, my lord, but to buy food are thy servants come.
What kind of feelings that popped up in Joseph's heart? Anger. Pain. Just, he was hurt. To see them again, he was hurt. I ain't seen y'all in 13 years, and the last thing I got in my mind about y'all was I was crying in some hole, and y'all was sitting there eating, ignoring me. And then I got sold off into Egypt, and if it wasn't for y'all, I wouldn't have went through this stuff. I wouldn't have went through this stuff. And so all of these thoughts and feelings start resurfacing again, and hey, at the end of the day, he's trying to have a little vengeance on them. Watch what he does.
We are all one man's sons. We are upright men. Thy servants are no spies. And he said unto them, Nay, but to see the nakedness of the land ye are come.
I also think that Joseph wanted to see, did his brothers change? Or were they the same? Because all the questions that he's asking them and seeing how they are dealing, let's see how they move differently than the 13 years ago.
And they said, We thy servants are 12 brethren, the sons of one man in the land of Canaan. And behold, the youngest is this day with our father, and one is not. And Joseph said unto them, that is it that I spoke unto you, saying ye are spies.
One thing didn't change, they still giving off too much information. Be careful what kind of information you give people, because today they use it against you. Go ahead.
Hereby ye shall be proved, as Pharaoh liveth. Ye shall not go forth hence, except your youngest brother come hither. Send one of you, and let him fetch your brother, and ye shall be bound, that your words may be proved, whether there be truth in you or else, as Pharaoh liveth. Surely ye are spies.
They haven't been there 5 minutes. And he's going in on them.
And he put them all together into ward 3 days.
You ain't never been in jail before, you're going to experience today. And it's not a regular jail, it's a dungeon.
And Joseph said unto them the 3rd day, this do and live, for I fear Elohim. If ye be upright men, let one of your brethren be bound in your prison house. But go ye, carry corn for the famine of your houses, and bring your youngest brother unto me, so shall your words be verified, and ye shall not die. And they did so.
If they had not have mentioned Benjamin, he wouldn't have been able to use this. You could have said, you know, we have a father and family, but you say, yeah, we got a brother, younger brother, and one is not. Nobody asked you for that information. Well, since you said it now, I'm going to use it against you. Now go home and get your little brother. And don't forget, they got to come from Canaan to Mitzrayim. This ain't no easy trek. It ain't like getting on the train and you be there in a couple of hours. These are a couple of days you're going to be on the road.
And they said one to another,
we are
verily guilty concerning our brother.
That's why I said earlier, it never left them. It never left them what they did, because the first thing they came to was, we messed up with Yosef, man. We really messed up with Yosef. I'm telling you, when you offend somebody, you think you can walk away from it and say, whatever, they'll be all right, they'll get over it. Trust me, in the deep recesses of your heart, the Most High is always going to remind you, don't forget what you did. Don't forget what you did. And at some point, the things that Yah's going to take you through as a person, you should be able to look at it and humble yourself. Humble yourself before the Creator and before people and say, look, simple, I'm sorry. That's what gets Yosef in the end, is like, yo, somebody's got a heart. People got to have a heart, have compassion, understanding.
And they said one to another, we are verily guilty concerning our brother, in that we saw the distress of his soul when he besought us, and we would not hear. Therefore is this distress come upon us. And Reuben answered them, saying, spoke I not unto you, saying, do not sin against your child, and ye would not hear? Therefore also, behold, his blood is required. And they knew not.
Now he's talking some sense a little bit.
And they knew not that Joseph understood them, for the interpreter was between them.
One of the funniest things I witnessed, and this was funny. How many people remember Mori Hosea?
Oh, yeah.
That this is Tayela and Mashiach's Abba. Hosea spoke, he was a trilinguist. He was a trilinguist. We walked in the store one night, Puerto Rican store. He bought something, and the guy was saying something bad about us, and Hosea let him have it in Spanish. The guy, he didn't know what to do. He just stood there like, how you know the language? I mean, Hosea ripped him up, and the guy just said, whatever we bought, he said, y'all take that, y'all have it, no problem. Be careful that you think other people don't know. Jews do it all the time. They be speaking Hebrew, blah, 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 you don't know, and then you start speaking, they like, how you know Hebrew? Be mindful what you saying about me. And other people like me. You walk into a pizza shop and they say, Kushi, Kushi. I'm not no Kushi. You know, Kushi is a curse word.
South Africa.
Calling you a black donkey. Right. That's their form of calling you a Negro. Not using the other word, but that's what they use it for. And so when you can speak the language and you can knock them off their plateau, trust me, the pizza shop get quiet after a while. Because now they, how you know that? Then they hush over Jerusalem. So again, Yosef was able to tap into that because they're speaking Hebrew. Not speaking the dialect of Egyptian, but they're speaking Hebrew, and Yosef knew the language.
And he turned himself about from them and wept.
Now, even though at this point in time, he's doing things that we would consider vengeful, he has a heart. Because every time he does something to them and he sees their face and sees their interaction, he got to run off and cry. This thing is paining him. This is pain he's really trying to release, but he's got to see how his brothers are going to deal, because if he's on this road and he's second in command, there are things he could do for his family that they don't have in Canaan land. This is all Yah's plan to set this whole thing up for the children of Israel to end up in Egypt.
And he returned to them and spoke to them, and took Shimon from among them and bound him before their eyes.
Why Shimon? Because I believe Shimon was the one. He was the main culprit. Show me. I'm sorry. Shimon had a spirit about you. Remember, 2 people went into Shechem and killed the Shechemites. Who were they? Shimon. Who's the first name? Shimon. Levy, we had anger issues, but we got dragged into it by Shimon. Trust me. Yeah, trust me. You know, you got the hype man. Yo, we gotta do something. You be sitting there. Yeah. Shimon was the one, so he knew that guy. He's the one that stirs up the trouble. And Shimon came out. He was probably talking some mess too. Yeah, man. And they didn't have good crackers, good food. Man, I almost knocked it. He said, lock him back up. Put him back in. Because when they gotta go back to the house to see Yaakov, you don't want Shimon convincing them, when we go back to Egypt, we gonna fight that guy. Some people, you know, their anger's so hot. Even when you tell them something, they look at you. You ever get that look like, what? Say, yo, chill. What? Chill? What you mean chill? How? leave him alone. That's Shimon. Shimon's the guy, he look at you sideways like, what'd you say? Wow. And before you know it, you got blood coming out because he done went and hauled off on you. And he's ready to fight. He's ready to fight at any time.
Then Joseph commanded to fill their vessels with corn, and to restore every man's money into his sack, and to give them provision for the way. And thus was it done unto them.
He's looking out for his family. Those are still his brothers, and he's still got a father and mother back at home. Leah's still alive.
And they laden their asses with their corn, and departed thence.
That didn't sound good. Go ahead.
That's what it says.
I know. That's why I like you, come more.
And as one of them opened his sack to give his kamor,
Amen.
provender in the lodging place, he espied his money, and behold, it was in the mouth of his sack. And he said unto his brethren.
Before you move on, one of the worst things a person can do is go to the store, pay for something, know you got the wrong change back, and think that it's a blessing and walk out. Because at the end of the day, that person is responsible for that draw. And they come up short, you know, people can lose their jobs about $5. The righteous thing to do is say, sister, and today, you might have to count with the cashier because they don't know. And so, and I know in other places, I remember going, my first real time going in Guyana, buying groceries, and the guy handed me the wrong money. He actually gave me $200 more. And then I watched him, and I don't mean 200 US, I mean 200 Cayenne. That's like $1. And so he's looking at me, he says, I dread, and I was like, you gave me too much. And he smiled, he said, thank you, brother, thank you, brother. He was testing me. He was testing me. So again, we think Jehovah's eyes is closed. Oh, she just gave me a great blessing. Hallelujah. We're going to hallelujah. Told out for the blessing. That ain't no blessing. You just hurt somebody else. Give them that money. Sister, you gave me $5 too much. And look at the expression when you give them back that money, they be like, thank you. I don't know what I was thinking. Lose some money. You ever have money in your pocket and it fall out and you go to, you know, and that was your bill money? You'll tear everything up trying to find that money. While somebody's saying, I got me the blessing. Do the right thing.
And he said unto his brethren, my money is restored, and Lord, it is even in my sack. And their heart failed them, and they turned trembling one to another, saying, what is this that Elohim hath done unto us? And they came unto Jacob their father.
They didn't go back. They didn't go back. Why? Because that guy was rough on us. I'm not going back now. We going back home, see how. Let's tell how.
And they came unto Jacob their father unto the land of Canaan, and told him all that had befallen them, saying, the Lord of the land, spoke roughly with us.
You ever met?
And took us for spies of the country.
You ever meet children that think they rough until they meet somebody else that's rougher than them? These guys, they thought they was bad boys until they met Joseph in his wrath, and they didn't know that's Joseph. God used to smack around and, had something slick to say. Joseph put them in the bricks. He had us humble.
And we said unto him, we are upright men. We are no spies. We are 12 brethren, sons of our father.
You ever see a parent go, oh my God. That's one of the things Yaakov did, like, are you kidding me? Y'all did it again? And the youngest is this day with our father in the land of Canaan.
And the man, the Lord of the land, said unto us, hereby shall I know that ye are upright men. Leave one of your brethren with me, and take corn for the famine of your houses, and go your way, and bring your youngest brother unto me. Then shall I know that ye are no spies, but that ye are upright men. So will I deliver you your brother, and ye shall traffic in the land. And it came to pass, as they emptied their sacks, that, behold, every man's bundle of money was in his sack. And when they and their father saw their bundles of money, they were afraid. And Jacob, their father, said unto them, me have you bereaved of my children. Joseph is not, and Shimon is not, and ye will take Benjamin away. Upon me are all these things come.
On their way back, you don't think Yaakov was at the top of the hill counting? 1, 2. They missing somebody. Somebody's missing. So now you come back and you talking about, okay, Shimon is gone, Joseph is gone. Now you telling me you got to take Benjamin back down there?
And Reuben spoke unto his father, saying, thou shalt slay my 2 sons if I bring him not to thee. Deliver him into my hand, and I will bring him back to thee.
You ever see somebody say something crazy and everybody look at them like, they just looked at him like, this is where Yaakov got emotional. I'm not sending him nowhere with you. Be quiet.
And he said, my son shall not go down with you.
That's right.
For his brother is dead, and he only is left. And if harm befall him by the way in which ye go, then will ye bring down my gray hairs with sorrow to the grave.
They understood what he meant because they had to deal with him for these past 13 years. Let's conclude chapter 43 and 44.
And the famine was sore in the land. And it came to pass when they had eaten up the corn which they had brought out of Egypt, that their father said unto them, go again, buy us a little food. And Yehudah spoke unto him, saying, the man did earnestly forewarn us, saying, ye shall not see my face, except your brother be with you. If thou wilt send our brother with us, we will go down and buy thee food. But if thou wilt not send him, we will not go down. For the man said unto us, ye shall not see my face, except your brother be with you. And Israel said, wherefore dealt ye so ill with me as to tell the man whether ye had yet a brother? And they said, the man asked straightly concerning ourselves and concerning our kindred, saying, is your father yet alive?
You still you're a grown man lying. Come on, man. But they had to keep this story going because they thought for sure that Joseph is dead.
Have ye another brother? And we told him according to the tenor of these words. Could we in any wise know that he would say, bring your brother down? And Judah said unto Israel his father, send the lad with me, and we will arise and go, that we may live and not die, both we and thou, and also our little ones.
You know what's important? That I believe after losing his first two sons, that Judah and Yaakov's relationship changed. Because now, not only did, in Yaakov's mind, he lost his son, he also lost two grandsons. And so Yehuda could sit down and explain and talk with his father about the pain that he felt about losing his two sons. So there's an interaction that's happening with Yaakov and Yehuda that has changed. And so that Yehuda was able to say, Abba, I totally understand, but there's no way we're going to be able to do anything unless Benjamin come with me. And he's more logical. He said, if I don't bring him back, let that be on me. Not kill my two sons. I just lost two grandsons. Why would I kill them? It just didn't make no sense. Let's keep moving.
I will be surety for him. Of my hand shalt thou require him. If I bring him not unto thee and set him before thee, then let me bear the blame forever. For except we had lingered, surely we had now returned a second time. And their father Israel said unto them, if it be so now, do this. Take of the choice fruits of the land in your vessels, and carry down the man a present, a little balm, and a little honey, spicery, and ladanum, nuts, and almonds.
Don't forget, he did the same thing with Esau when it came to the animals. Take him a present. Maybe it'll help change his spirit.
And take double money in your hand.
Then he didn't just say, well, take money for this trip. Take the money you were supposed to spend last time and take money for this time. Then make sure the men know that y'all are upright men.
And the money that was returned in the mouth of your sacks, carry back in your hand. Peradventure it was an oversight. Take also your brother, and arise, go again unto the man. And Elohim Almighty give you mercy before the man, that he may release unto your other brother and Benjamin. And as for me, if I be bereaved of my children, I am bereaved. And the men took that present, and they took double money in their hand, and Benjamin, and rose up and went down to Egypt and stood before Joseph. And when Joseph saw Benjamin with them, he said to the steward of his house, bring the men into the house and kill the beast and prepare the meat, for the men shall dine with me at noon. And the man did as Joseph bade, and the man brought the men into Joseph's house. And the men were afraid because they were brought into Joseph's house. And they said, because of the money that was returned in our sacks at the first time are we brought in, that he may seek an occasion against us and fall upon us.
You ever see somebody that's always jumping, you see them and looking around, jumping? They got issues because they haven't been honest. And so now, here it is. These guys haven't been honest. So every time something happened, they thinking, oh, it's this reason or that reason. Hey, be an honest person, you won't have to worry about that.
And take us for bondmen and our Kamorim. And they came to the steward of Joseph's house, and they spoke unto him at the door of the house and said, oh my Lord, we came indeed down at the first time to buy food. And it came to pass when we came to the lodging place that we opened our sacks, and behold, every man's money was in the mouth of his sack, our money in full weight, and we have brought it back in our hand. And other money have we brought down in our hand to buy food. We know not who put our money in our sacks. And he said, peace be to you, fear not. Your power, the power of your father, hath given you treasure in your sacks. I had your money. And he brought Shimon out unto them.
I bet you Shimon was a little bit more humbler.
Oh yeah.
Because they didn't go back right away.
Right.
In a couple of months. Then they went back and he's like, I'm glad to see y'all. Give me a hug. Sitting in prison and ain't nobody joked, man.
And the man brought the men into Joseph's house and gave them water, and they washed their feet. And he gave their Kamorim provender. And they made ready the present against Joseph's coming at noon. For they heard that they should eat bread there. And when Joseph came home, they brought him the present which was in their hand into the house, and bowed down to him to the earth. And he asked them of their welfare and said, "Is your father well? The old man of whom he spoke, is he yet alive?"
It's a little different towards that.
And they said, "Thy servant our father is well. He is yet alive." And they bowed the head and made obeisance. And he lifted up his eyes and saw Benjamin, his brother, his mother's son, and said, "Is this your youngest brother of whom ye spoke of unto me?"
Benjamin was young when he left. Now he's a grown man and got a few children too.
And he said, "Elohim be gracious unto thee, my son." And Joseph made haste, for his heart yearned toward his brother. And he sought where to weep. And he entered into his chamber and wept there. And he washed his face and came out. And he refrained himself and said, "Set on bread." And set on for him by himself, and for them by themselves, and for the Egyptians that did eat with him by themselves, because the Egyptians might not eat bread with the Hebrews, for that is an abomination unto the Egyptians.
Why was that an abomination? Because we were sheep herders, goat herders. The Egyptians, they had that, but other people, the slaves did that. That was like a slave's job. And so he said, "No, y'all can't come and sit down eating with us, smelling like goats and sheep. Y'all eat over there." And because Joseph was a man of rank, he ate by himself. So you got 3 settings, with different people eating food. Joseph by himself, the Egyptians, servants, and the guys that worked for Joseph all by themselves, and then Joseph's brothers in their order of birth.
And they sat before him, the firstborn according to his birthright, and the youngest according to his youth. And the men marveled one with another.
Nobody's paying attention. Go ahead.
And portions were taken unto them from before him. But Benjamin's portion was 5 times so much as any of theirs.
Now this guy was just mean to us the last time we came. Now he's showering us with gifts. He must be bipolar or something's off with me. I don't know what's going on. But somebody should be paying attention.
And they drank and were merry with him.
They used the word in Hebrew. It said they drank and they were drunk. So they got there and he got them drunk. Now a guy that's just been mistreating you, why would it be wise to be sitting there drinking till you fall out the chair? You don't know what he got up his sleeve. And the last time you were there, he put your money back in your bag. Somebody need to be watched in this situation, but no. Cheers.
And he commanded the steward of his house, saying, "Fill the men's sacks with food as much as they can carry."
While they're drunk, still trying to get up themselves together.
And put every man's money in his sack's mouth.
And
put my goblet, the silver goblet.
The one I'm talking about, the one I really like. The one I really, really like, the one with the stones in it.
And his corn money. And he did according to the word that Joseph had spoken.
And as soon as the morning
was light, the men were sent away, they and their asses. And when they were gone out of the city and were not yet far off, Joseph said unto his steward, "Up, follow after the men. And when thou dost overtake them, say unto them, Wherefore have ye rewarded evil for good? Is not this in which my Lord drinketh, and whereby he indeed divineth? Ye have done evil in so doing." And he overtook them, and he spoke unto them these words. And they said unto him, "Wherefore speaketh my Lord such words as these? Far be it from thy servants that we should do such a thing. Behold, the money which we found in our sacks' mouth we brought back unto thee out of the land of Canaan. How then should we steal out of thy Lord's house silver or gold? With whomsoever of thy servants it be found, let him die. And we also will be my Lord's bondmen."
still to this day have to be very careful what comes out of our mouths. Same exact thing Yaakov did about Raquel. Yeah, Laban's touching his stuff, and he said, why you touching my stuff? Why you rummaging through my house? He said, you stole my God. He said, well, whoever you find the God with, they should die. Well, on the way back to Canaan, Raquel died. Then we so quick, and don't forget, the children heard that. Children heard that come from Yaakov. And so now they're playing the same thing. And don't forget, the guy was just being mean and rude and nasty to you 5 months ago, or whenever you was there the first time. Now all of a sudden he's your best friend. He's your best friend, and everything's peachy. Hey man, look, I'm telling you, we ain't got this thing. Well, your money got there the last time. Well, you wasn't paying attention to that. I would have said, well, let me check. I need to check first, see if somebody got the goblin, instead of saying, whoever you find it with, my man, that person's gonna die. That's not wise. Because if it wasn't Yosef, Binyamin might have been dead. Then they have to go back and explain that to Yaakov. Let's go. 10.
With whomsoever, and he said, now also let it be according unto your word.
You said it, I didn't.
He with whom it is found shall be my bondman, and ye shall be blameless. Then they hastened and took down every man his sack to the ground, and opened every man his sack. And he searched, beginning at the eldest and leaving off at the youngest.
And you know how it went. You know, people taking out stuff out their back. I told you I ain't got it. And they mumbling, talking, saying, they gotta try to blame him up. We ain't going in their house, selling their stuff. But so I told you I ain't got it, my man. Then they get to Binyamin, this big old shiny thing. Oh no!
And the goblet was found in Benjamin's sack.
And they rent their
clothes and laden every man his ass and returned to the city.
Yeah, slowly.
And Judah and his brethren came to Joseph's house, and he was yet there. And they fell before him on the ground. And Joseph said unto them, what deed is this that ye have done? Know ye not that such a man as I will indeed divine? And you would have said, what shall we say unto my Lord? What shall we speak? Or how shall we clear ourselves? Elohim hath found out the iniquity of thy servants. Behold, we are my Lord's bondmen, both we and he also, in whose hand the cup is found.
This is what changed about them. Now they're standing behind Binyamin, they're locked in as brothers. Before, they just left Yosef to himself. They've grown in this fashion, and now we're a family, we're staying, we can't go home. Nobody can go home and explain this to Abba.
And he said, far be it from me that I should do so.
The man
in whose hand the goblet is found, he shall be my bondman. But as for you, get you up in peace unto your father.
Never mind, just lock all of us up, because we ain't going home. There ain't going to be no peace at that house. The biggest lesson I'm praying that the young men and women will take from this is there's a journey that you're going to take in this thing called life. And everything ain't going to be good, as you say. You're going to have days that are up and days that are down. Just continue to navigate that path with the Creator and ask Him for help. Get the help of the elders, get their guidance, because they've been through this. They've been through a lot of different things. And so, again, understand life. Don't give up. Continue to move forward. And whoever you are supposed to be, the Most High is going to have a plan laid out, and there are going to be some struggles you got to go through. But at the end of the day, trust in Yah, do what you need to do, and the Most High will see you through it. Amen? Hallelujah. Let us stand before the Creator and even say the words of the priestly blessing.